The reality is terrifying. Almost half of all Americans are one emergency away from homelessness. Colorado Springs has the fastest growing poverty rate in the nation, and the state of Colorado has the second fastest growing rate of child poverty in America. Think about it. It really could happen to you. An accident, a job loss, a major illness, or any other unexpected event. Just think about it. What would you do? Where would you go? There is hope. There is an answer. Hello, everyone. I'm here with John Ty. He's the CEO of Reach Pikes Peak. Hello, John.
Hi, Katie. It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you, too. So, John, what does REACH stand for?
REACH stands for Resources, Education, Assets, Community, and Hope.
All right. With a name like that, it certainly sounds like you do a whole lot, but what are some of the specific services you offer?
Well, since 1964, our agency reached out to provide resources in emergency situations.
Oh, that would be perhaps if somebody lost their job?
Absolutely.
All right.
Education to attain higher job skills.
Now that's super important because we all know that the better educated we are, the more likely we are to succeed in life.
Absolutely. And assist individuals build their assets to buy a new home or a small business.
All right, and we know that having a stable home life and owning or being able to rent a home is often part of the pathway out of poverty.
It is, very much so. We partner with many local organizations and businesses to help build a community we can all be proud of.
What are some of those organizations, John?
Well, there's a lot of them here in El Paso
Sure
County, but we are the #1 referral agency for the Pikes Peak United Way 211 program.
The #1 agency?
The #1.
I never knew. It's
Yes.
pretty impressive.
We've answered about 3,400 phone calls, and last year we provided more than 13,000 services to individuals and families.
John, I have to say I never knew all that you do. You do so much. And it really sounds that REACH provides resources, assistance, and essentially hope to those in need.
That's right, Katie. And together that gives hope to all of us.
It sure does. But what if you had lost all hope because the world seemed to have turned on you? And then, in your darkest hour, you found the strength to turn your life around, a fresh start. Yet, no matter how hard you tried, you faced setback after setback. You couldn't pay your rent. You were separated from your child. You were all alone with no support system at all. Life is full of trials and tribulations, and here to share her journey is Shalonda Reeves and her beautiful daughter, Ciel.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So, Shalonda, can you tell me about some of the challenges you were facing several years ago?
Well, when I originally moved up here, I'm a single parent, and I had to leave my daughter back, which was horrible.
That would be heartbreaking.
Yes, it was. But I came up here to have a fresh start with my daughter,
All right.
you know,
Start
to
a
build
new
something.
life.
Right.
And now I understand you're going to school.
Yes. At that time, I had enrolled in school, and I had a part-time job, and I was trying to save up money. But money was falling short on certain things, and I was about to get evicted.
Oh my goodness. So you knew you needed help.
Yes.
And somebody told you about REACH.
Yes, one of my classmates, they overheard me talking to somebody else and gave me a card.
Okay. So you picked up the phone, made a phone call, and the rest
there
is
it is.
history?
There it
Okay.
is.
What are some of the services that REACH gave you and provided for you?
Well, they helped me out a lot with rental assistance and with gas assistance, so I can get around and I can I afforded to bring my daughter up without stressing about my finances.
Theo, that must have made you very happy. How'd you feel about that?
I felt like a blossoming thing coming with my mom because she's the greatest mom in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
How does that
thank
make you
you
feel
so
hearing
much.
that?
I paid her a lot of money to say
Yeah,
that.
we never rehearsed that. That must mean the world to you to
didn't
hear
It
that.
does. It does.
And so now you two have a wonderful life.
Yes.
You have a very great success story. Tell us about that.
Well, I'm truly blessed. Now I'm an instructor at the school that I graduated from, and I got 2 degrees, and one's for HVAC and one's for drafting. So I'm in a position when students come to me and they ask me like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I point them in the same direction with the help that I had.
All right, so you're basically paying it forward.
That's exactly what it is.
And you're giving guidance and support to those who need it, just like back then you needed it.
Right,
What
right.
a wonderful example of how life came full circle.
Yeah.
Yet sometimes life starts with turbulence, chaos, and instability. From the very beginning, it's full of dangerous twists and turns. Tiffany Danley is a client at Reach, and I'll tell you, she's had a difficult life. Tiffany, tell me about your early childhood.
Well, it wasn't easy. My mother struggled with mental illness my entire life, and my father was very sick for the majority of my life. It was very abusive.
It sounds like you really weren't parented at all.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't given any tool to succeed in my adult life.
And as a result, you moved out very early in life.
Yes, I did. By the time I was 15, I'd already been struggling with homelessness, addiction, and I was out on my own for good.
And then a year later, you had a baby.
Yes, I had my first daughter when I was 16, and by the time I was 22, I had all three.
All right, so you had 3 daughters, you had no education, you'd been back and forth with homelessness, you didn't have a support system, you'd been struggled with addiction. Life must have been very hopeless.
It really was. It was very discouraging. It felt like I kept climbing the same mountain, and I never really got to the top without falling down first.
Right, but then things changed.
They did. They changed the moment that I walked into Reach. I walked in and I spoke with one of the coordinators, and she really gave me every opportunity to succeed in this life.
What specifically did she do?
Well, she helped me with transportation. They helped me with schooling, tuition, books, clothing, anything and everything. She went as far as to bring Christmas presents to my house for my kids.
Oh my gosh, so it sounds like they gave you the love and support you never had in your life.
They did. They were the first person to give me an exception, to give me an opportunity to succeed.
And you never had that before. And now, as a result of that, you have a completely new and different life.
I do. I have been working at Penrose for almost a year now. I have been renting my own house for multiple years now. I have every chance to provide stability to my kids.
Okay, and do you think you would be in this place without Reach?
No, I wouldn't have gotten any of the certifications I have. I wouldn't have gotten the stability and really just the unconditional support and love that they provided to me. I wouldn't have found a place without them. I wouldn't have found a home.
Unfortunately, there are tens of thousands in the same situation. Just look around. Perhaps the person beside you. They may be suffering silently, not knowing there's help and hope to be had. Remember, life can change on a dime, and we never know what the future holds or when it will be our time of need.